Hello and welcome, wherever and however this finds you. Yes, I thought I'd create a new series. It's the Wild Woman series, storytelling myths. And this particular story is from Carolyn Hillier's Weaver's Oracle. So I woke up feeling a bit lost this morning and actually quite paralysed. I was quite paralysed in fear. I won't go into all the whys. So I thought I'll pull a weaver. I haven't pulled a weaver for quite a long time. I'd kind of forgotten I had this deck that was gifted to me. And the weaver that came to me is Wolf, Udegan of the Berry Pouch. And she cradles the mending drum. Isn't that sweet? Now, Wolf is one of the East Weavers. She's from the tribe of East Weavers, and the East Weavers are all connected by their relationship to new light, first fires, dawn air, starting the cycle, beginning a journey, thresholds into things, young spirits, feral nature, fresh lands, elementals, maiden dances, blood and birthing journeys, sensuality, expansive horizons, freedom and space, running with the land, hope and possibilities, the energy of spring equinox, and the fertility festival. The Udegans are of the Bone clan, and the women in this clan are hewn from ancient ice. Their old name, Udegan, is rooted in Arctic landscapes and means grandmother, elder, healer, wise woman, or witch. It describes women whose shamanism lies in the strengthening of hearth fire wisdom. The Udegans represent a women's mystery tradition that reaches back 25,000 years into the heart of the last ice age, a living mythology that protects the most ancient forms of magic ever to have been called out by women from the belly of the frozen north. Through all this time, the Udegans have kept the embers glowing of a spiritual culture that is still buried far inside the old bones of the land. They also dwell inside our own bones. We often discover that the memory of them has never entirely dissolved. Encounters with these Bone Clan women required journeys onto ancient ice, travelling ever further north in order to travel ever deeper into time. Only in sub-zero temperatures, amid falling snow, and with a landscape of frozen lakes laid out in all directions, could I hope to touch the spirits of these women and carry their cold stories back to stir into the paint. This is Carolyn Hillier speaking. Those journeys on ice with the Udegans reshaped my soul. Each weaver is custodian of a skin drum. Deer, horse, elk, reindeer, salmon, that I made and used to record her song. This clan is formed from a cycle of paintings called the Northern Sisterhood of the Drums. So from the Northern Sisterhood of the Drums, I bring you the story, thanks to Carolyn Hillier, of Wolf, Udegan of the Berry Pouch. Her yarn. She walked along the forest line where the great north swept to the ground. She wore her wolfskin trousers with the fur turned inside and the weather-hardened leather facing out. She had followed that particular wolf for half a moon, until she had at last caught up to find it sick and dying in the snow. It was not the wolf she had been looking for. So long had she been travelling through that winter, through so much undefined darkness, through so many brief days rubbed raw by the ebb and flow of ice. "I fear I lost you long ago," she spoke across the brittle land. "Too many trees have grown to hide you from my eyes." The hunt seemed difficult and endless. She had already searched in the past. Now she was seeking through her dreams of the future. Still, the pouch hanging from her belt was empty and carried no more than lonely air, and that air remained silent. She walked onto the icy lake, where the snow was piled up high in frozen waves. She thought she heard something behind her in the pines, but the wind had turned the sound to glass before she could catch it in her ears. "I will sing you out from the dark, forgotten past," she said, "and I will sing you a future road." But still her empty berry pouch needed to be filled. She stared again through tight eyes towards the forest and over the fields of snow then, with despair laid heavy on her shoulders, turned back once more to the cooling hearth of her small tent. Smoke from the scented pine boughs drifted through gaps in the darkened hides that were wrapped over birch poles to form her home. She stopped. Something was changed about the place. The fire was lit. A pair of fur boots had been laid outside the tent. Now she was running, panting, skidding on the ice, crying out as she flung herself beneath the doorskin, scattering snow onto the hides. There, beside the hearthstones, sat the wolf, the one she had been seeking during all those long months. The wolf was wearing the faces of this woman's many grandmothers, who now turned to welcome her to the fire. A fine dappled skin drum sat next to the hearth. "How did I forget to look for you so close to home?" she said to the wolf. "How did I not know that you would be here waiting for me?" The wolf smiled. In her lap was laid the blanket of the past, while her grey wolf hands tenderly caressed the sleeping future. The woman kneeled beside the wolf and watched her untie a leather bag. She opened her own pouch. The wolf leaned over and shook in sweet berries, red and vibrant with energy, until the pouch was filled right to the brim. Then the wolf reached to pick up the mending drum that lay by the fire and started to beat on its bright skin. Her braid. A gathering pouch for berries is an essential tool for a woman travelling through wilderness. Perhaps her leather berry pouch is shaped like a hard bowl, the edge curved to form a shallow lip from which to pour. She uses it to collect the small fruits of forest, moor and tundra, the concentrated essence of winterlands that she will use for medicines, rituals and sustenance in the coldest times. Perhaps a scrap of fur holds the berries safe, tucked deep inside the spirits of wolf and wild. The raw essence of wilderness is also found in wolf's milk, collected by patient women hunting in the forest, gathered from old lactating wolves, but pass by and may permit the woman to gather the milk dripping from their elongated dugs. The hunters stir the wolf's milk into a remedy that has been passed woman to woman across many lands. Those who taste it awaken to the yearning moon, the rebellious night, and the howling song of wolvish sisters hunting down their future paths. When travellers eat the wild, caught within berries or wolf's milk, it's easier for their ears to hear the beat of the mending drum. Such a drum is very finely stretched over a deep belly, and its face is freckled with dark patterns, like the circling tracks of herds in snow. With many jangling copper cones strung from its frame, its voice is bright and sharp. It heals, protects, creates, and welcomes. The rhythms of the mending drum reshape what is damaged, gather what is dispersed, and sing to travelling women of how they might recover their paths into wilderness. Her cloth. When the wolf comes, how do we run? Do we run towards her or away? We used to know this wolf well. Do you remember, sisters? Long time ago we journeyed easily with her and roamed far with her beside our tail. But somewhere along the way we lost sight of her, and gradually we forgot that she exists. How was that possible? The wolf was always the dark reflection of our strange, feral selves. How could we still travel not knowing how to howl? She was our fierce and constant protection on the trail ahead. How have we survived this far without her attentive eye? The wolf was the first to hear our spirits call across the winter land, and the first to reach us through the forest gloom. She nurtured and sustained our journeys with the life food of the wilderness. Without those berries, we became too tame. Our wolf, though carved from the sharpest edges of the land, was always quietly wild, like a fiery chasm running far below the silent ice. She may have seemed unknowable, but we each knew her to our deepest core. The wolf was all the mothers we have known and lost, and now she comes. We cannot yet see her shadow on the ice, nor have we found her tracks across the snow. But there is no doubt that she is trailing us, waiting for us to turn. And when we do, she will invite us to lay the toils and perils of our journeys in her lap. She will help us strengthen the way we wear our womanhood. She will hold out her sweet berries to us, and she will keep us wild. So how do we run, sisters? Towards her or away? Makes me think of Lac lupinum. Or is it lupinum? Lupinum. Lac lupinum. It's wolf of the she-milk. No, I've got that the wrong way around. It's milk of the she-wolf. Homeopathic remedy for the wild woman in all of us.